No problem. And then we make everything work. Is this what happens when you do live productions?
There we go.
Perfect. And we see Rogue versus Rogue. Haven't had that match up in week 3 at all. And it's pretty funny to see Miracle Rogue fighting against Miracle Rogue. Whoever is slightly faster with whoever gets the auctioneer first, who can conceal the auctioneer, might be able to carry away the win.
We see Blackout is thinking about keeping his Leroy or tossing it. And he keeps it.
Yeah, so Blackout has a Leroy in his starting hand, which is extremely potent. The problem is you need your Leroy, yes, but if your enemy is dropping a turn 3 Power Van Cleave, for example, and you don't have a sap, that's also annoying. So not only Leroy is important for you, wow, and Leroy 2 for Esosek. So both players already hold their Leroys, and it all comes down to who gets Shadow Steps, who gets their Auctioneer first. Both have an almost equal hand. Advantage for Esosek, I would say, is the Van Cleef, if he manages to do something awesome with it.
But Blackout has the coin, and you really want to have the coin as a Miracle Rogue.
Yeah, you want to have the coin to coin out SI7s and the Shadow Stab for Esosek too. If you want to coin out SI7s, you want to coin on Auctioneer for another card draw. And there's already Cold Blood, so Leroy Shadow Step Cold Blood here for Esosek. Some, well, nice start, but we have an Auctioneer for Blackout roaming around. And Salnus, if he wants to drop him, that would be additional card draw.
He decides against it.
Yeah.
He wants to keep it for his eviscerates or, backstabs, shifts.
Oh, another Shadow Stab.
What?
So if I were Esosek, I would maybe try to do a turn 5 Super Van Cleave with Van Cleave, Shadow Stab, Van Cleave, and play something before that. But you always need to fear the sab, and well, if it happens, you're kind of screwed.
You wouldn't wait for turn 8 and go for a super combo?
You can just go for the super combo too. But he's down to 26.
I mean, it's 22 damage.
Yeah, that's not enough. And then you need to fear your enemy's turn 6, turn 8, where he can do his own super combo. Most of all, Blackout has a Salnus out, and you need to kill it now. And there's sap, so good job. There's no Van Cleave play by now, but it's a sap for Esosek, so not for Blackout. And he killed the Salnus, which is extremely helpful, since you really don't want to have that Salnus going spell damage rampage. But Blackout has an Assassin's Blade plus Deadly Poison, so 20 damage save. And not only 20 damage, he has a Blade Flurry too. So now 5 if he wants to, like Assassin's Blade, Coin, Deadly Poison. He could deal 5 damage, and next turn he could already deal 15 damage, like in total 15 damage together with the Blade Flurry.
Even more.
Yeah, and if he, like...
With Leroy.
Yeah, with Leroy. So he can deal 10 damage plus Leroy 10 damage. That's not enough. You're not... Well, he cannot deal Leroy 10 damage since he's 1 mana short. But still, it's looking extremely powerful for him. If Esosek is not able to close the game here fast, he's going to lose. How could he... Well, what could he do now? So
Acolyte of Pain, Van Cleave.
Acolyte of Pain, Van Cleave. He could also Preparation, Deadly Poison if he wants to. Since he's not... He needs to win fast, or he's going to lose.
Turn 8. He wants to keep the prep for turn 8 for the 22 damage combo, but he decides against it, plays a Van Cleave, and hopes that Blackout doesn't have a zap.
If he goes for the super combo, it could be too late since it's not going to win. And there's just the 5/3 blade on the board, and this blade is just so strong. If you don't do your stuff now, you're just too late. And there's now the Azure Drake upcoming. But he would like to use Azure Drake Backstab Blade Flurry to get Van Cleave killed, but he can't.
No, he's 1 mana short.
And there could be a Backstab Blade Flurry, but it would survive with 1 HP. And that hurts. So you're going to take 8 damage, plus Leroy Shadow Stab Leroy, and a Cold Blood. So, yeah, next turn we could see 16 damage from Leroy. With Leroy Shadow Step,
8
Cold
damage
Blood.
should be over.
Yeah, it should be over at the moment. So it was quite fast turn from Esosek here with that Van Cleave. And we said it. Van Cleave can turn out to be extremely strong and useful in this matchup if you don't have a sap. Wow, and he decides to take the 8 damage himself, but as we know,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. He gets out
Doesn't
his
matter.
own Van
Had Leroy.
Cleave. Both players started with Leroy. No, that was already ridiculous, first of all. But now there's just Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy, and he doesn't even need a Cold Blood. It's 15 damage with his weapon. So, fast turn. That was the fastest game we had today. Turn 7 win? That one
No,
quite.
no, we had one turn 6 win.
And he also concealed. That went quite good for eESosek here, carrying away the win with Miracle Rogue. And if we know one thing, then
With the handlock. The only bonus for the handlock is, or I think I would rather go for the Druid, I think. Because the handlock needs to drop low to play those Molten Giants in combination with Sunfury Protector or Defender of Argus. And the Rogue doesn't need to drop the Warlock low because he can just go with this one power combo.
That's correct, I agree there. And let's jump into the game and see what he thinks is necessary to win the game. And he's going for a handlock here.
Yeah, tosses his entire hand.
Now, well, you really want to start with a Twilight Drake, with Ancient Watcher even.
Mountain Giant. Maybe. Oh.
Well, Earthen Ring, Leroy, Alexstrasza. It's quite
not the
best hand. And the super annoying thing here is eESosek goes second, so he can coin out stuff. He can coin out Van Cleave, and that's super annoying. I mean, if there's a turn 2 coin preparation, something Van Cleave play, that could turn out super not cool for Blackout here.
It's true.
But at the moment, it looks like, well, not much to do here. He could just weapon up, or yeah, he's just hovering over it for us. So coin Van Cleave would bring him a 4/4 Van Cleave, but that gets so fired easy. Maybe just weapon up, deal 1 damage, and then next turn go for...
He goes for Coin Van Cleave.
He goes for Coin Van. That's a 4 damage threat on the board. And as we see, not much Blackout can do against it. So he can drop a turn 4 Giant, but he's at least gonna take that damage once. Oh, preparation, 1 turn too late. That would be so amazing. That would be an 8/8 Van Cleave, so a really big threat. He can Cold Blood it up now. And even, wow, if that... I would consider preparation, conceal, save 8 damage next turn again, and then you already have an Eviscerate in your hand, plus a Blade Fury. I would be super safe if you go for it, like preparation, conceal, and next turn. Oh, that's tricky. You want to keep it for...
Yeah, you want to keep it for something big.
Yeah, for preparation eviscerate even next turn. Like preparation eviscerate as a 7 agent, for example, would be 6 damage next turn. But if he has a Soulfire, you lose your 8 damage on the board, and if like it's just too big threat. But he has no Soulfire. It hurts so much for Blackout, and it looks not good for him. So he can deal that 8 damage now.
Or even backstab to combo.
So how much can he do? 8 damage plus 4. He can do 12.
I would keep the Eviscerate.
He could deal 12 plus as a 7 agent. He could deal 14. He could bring him down to 3 if he wants to. If he goes preparation, eviscerate as a 7 agent, bring him down to 3. And as soon as he draws a deadly poison, just win with Blade Fury, for example. That's a possible play.
But then we see 2 Earthen Ring Farseer, and you know that handlocks play those.
Is this the annoying thing? You get him down so hard, and you cannot make good use of it. He could backstab, preparation, eviscerate SI7 agent to kill the 8/8 if he wants to. That would be a lot of cards to get rid of it. And he could also conceal both. That needs to be considered. So either you...
I would go backstab, SI7 into the face, go with Van Cleef into the face and conceal them.
Well, the advantage is... No, he just... Oh, he
messed up.
Yeah, he forgot that he needs to preparation here, and that's hurts so much. Now he needs to waste the conceal, and if he played it different, he would have had a 3-3 on the board and the 8-4, and that play could actually be the play where he loses the game. So this could really be the one where Blackout catches back. So that's the annoying thing. He can heal up his giant if he wants to, and taunt up both of them, for example. Oh, this hurts a lot.
Damn.
For Esosek. I mean, there's still Blade Flurry, Shift, whatever. So he can get rid of that giant easily, but he cannot attack. He would need 1 mana more. That would be perfect. So now even with 1 mana more, it wouldn't work. So Shiv as a 7 agent, for example. But then he cannot attack with his 8-4, and his 8-4 is going to die next turn to Shadow Flame, for example.
Or whatever.
Power overwhelming Shadow Flame.
Think shift to the face. Does he want to take the 8 damage?
No, I guess he's might consider Blight Flurrying here. Or really takes those 8 damage. That would hurt a lot. Well, that's why there's Leroy Power Overwhelming
10 damage.
plus a 2 damage plus a Soulfire would be GG.
Yep.
So if there's a Soulfire draw now, Blackout wins this game. Well, that's not it. Well, it could still be a Soulfire.
Still be a Soulfire.
No,
Nope.
only an Ancient Watcher. Still heal himself up. He cannot risk it. He was hovering over just play Leroy, doing the damage. If he leaves the SI7 agent alive, that would be too risky. If there's Leroy incoming, it's already 9 damage plus whatever, you would die. He could just power overwhelming his minion, but that feels so wasty if you have your Leroy combo roaming around. Is he just going for it? Like next turn I win or I lose?
Seems like it.
So down to 12 and top deck Deadly Poison Blade Flurry. He could he could survive for 1 more turn. But there's only Soundness.
That won't be enough.
Oh, there's the opportunity of Blade Flurrying, but he drops so he can clear the board, but he would drop down to 9 or to 10 whoever he attacks, and that's just enough to get him killed. That's pretty annoying for Esosek since he had a better play. He could have killed that 8-8 and then trade and deal another 8 damage to the face. So without that slight misplay, I would say Esosek would have won here.
Yep.
But as we often say it on this level of play, 1 misplay already is your GG often. He could attack the 3-3 now and do a 2 damage Blade Flurry if he wants. And now he's dead. There's Leroy Power, Soulfire, there it is even. So Leroy Power Overwhelming and even the Soulfire.
17 damage.
Good job for Blackout here. 1 in the end. That's sad. Well played. GG. Druid might have 2 big game hunters if you even play him. That's it. And a lot of minions. So Warrior is most likely going to happen.
It is going to be the Warrior, as we can see.
And a Black Knight already in his starting hand.
I would keep the Black Knight.
But a Mountain Giant and a Twilight Drake for Blackout. So we kind of need instantly an Execute or a Shield block to get enough armor to get rid of what Blackout might... and the Big Game Hunter. But the Big Game Hunter can only kill a Giant. 2 Mountain Giants. That's sick. Blackout is having a perfect starting hand here. But you cannot kill a Twilight Drake with your Big Game Hunter, and that hurts if the Twilight Drake is coming first.
Oh, and the Defender.
And it's a pretty nice start for Blackout here, but we have that one.
Would you go Twilight first?
Would you go Twilight first?
I think I would.
If he has no armor, Yes, like as you say, as we said, he cannot kill that Drake now easily. He could think about coin Faces Manipulator, for example. He could just draw cards to get an execute. The main problem is he doesn't have any armor to do anything here. This is so ridiculous. Double Acolyte of Pain. He really needs a shield block. He could consider running in his minion, or just hope for next turn your enemy taunts his minion up and you would get Black Knight value. If you go for it and you don't draw an execute, that's super sad. Or he's just playing so many Acolytes of Pain to get maximum card draw advantage. There's just an Hellfire incoming. It's just easy mode for him. He loses all his armor, and Esosek draws 2 cards, but he loses all his armor, and that's super annoying.
Gets an execute, get some Corcoran.
Well, that's perfect, since execute, armor up, armor smith even. That's quite perfect for him. And if there is Mountain Giant incoming, it would just get big game hunted.
Yep.
This is how fast it can turn if you have enough card draw. So Ancient Watcher, but the Ancient Watcher can get silence next turn. Blackout still, awesome hand here.
Can play a giant, can then silence his Watcher.
There's a big game hunter incoming, but you don't have enough armor to shield slam the minion away. And if he decides to go for your face, he just kills off your armor completely again. The big question is he going for the face? Maybe Mountain Giant? Is he just taunting up? He kills and heals. And that's at least useful, since you can shield slam it away now, or Krokon it away. But I would prefer
shield slam.
Well, the main problem is with using your shield slam, you kind of need them for late game. So that's always your main concern here. But attack the owl, shield slam away the 4/4. You could get rid of those 2. Your main problem is the turns upcoming. You have your 6 armor, but if you use 1 shield slam now and he attacks with his 3/3 your face, you're not going to have enough armor to shield slam something away. Okay. Krokon and armor up. That would clear the board, at least. If he killed the minion and doesn't go for the face. But going for the face would bring him into Molten Giant range.
Yep.
But just playing in the Azure Drake, what can you draw? What gives you an advantage? Well, with the shield block now, everything is perfect. We haven't said anything. He might just play his Mountain Giant, but that shouldn't concern anyone. You can just kill it with your shield block. You could even attack your Azure Drake and Mortal Coil it, but you gain 2 more armor. So you don't even need a shield block. It's getting better and better for your hand. Is he going to taunt both up and maybe just kill the 1/2? That would be super useful. But he really wants to use his Mortal Coil now, since there are not so many options when you're actually able to use a Mortal Coil. But we see for Esosek it's just perfect. Shield block, shield slam. Not even shield block if he doesn't want to. He can just copy shield slam. It's super good for him. An 8/8 out. Well, Blackout has a Siphon Soul, so handleable for him. But already going down to 14 if Esosek attacks. That makes 4 cost giants if he had one. But Blackout has no Molten Giant. Only his Taunters. So he has both Argus and both Sunfury Protector, but just nothing to armor up. That hurts quite a lot.
That's the second Watcher. You already played 2 Giants. Then only the Molten Giants left. Yeah, he has his Alex.
Well, he has his Alex, he has his Gorehowl. He could consider Gorehowling. The advantage for him is, if he loses his armor, he doesn't care, since there's nothing to use his armor with. And there's now an Alex roaming around. Well, he wants to kill that Alex. Leroy, Power Overwhelming, Shadow Flame. possibility. Just Leroy, power overwhelming on the Ancient Watcher. Shadow Flame would kill everything and leave your Leroy alive on the board. Those are 2 potential plays you could do.
Next round, get on.
Yeah, next round get on, next round slam. So many ways for Esosek to deal with what Blackout can do, but Blackout really needs to get rid of Alexstrasza. You really don't want to have her against you. It's just 8 damage roaming around. He's exactly doing this. And it's smarter to leave your Leroy alive. Then the most annoying thing is you just gave him 4 armor for free again. And that helps. Even if you don't have a shield slam, you can just attack a giant with your Gorehowl without taking any damage. Or just drop your Geddon like this, bring him down by 2, and next turn Ragnaros, hope you win. And that's perfect, killing a Leroy just without any efforts. You just take 2 damage yourself, deal 2 damage, and if you ask yourself what happens if you have Ragnaros and Geddon out, who's gonna proc first? Well, that hero, that minion, got played first. So if you play Geddon first, he's gonna always proc first end of turn, and then Ragnaros. If you played Ragnaros first, you're gonna see 8 damage followed up by 2 damage to everyone. And this looks really nice for Esosek. Yeah, he doesn't even need to play Ragnaros. He just deals 7 damage to the face, 7 damage with Geddon, ends his turn, and wins with Geddon.
GG.
So Esosek wins for eEriness here, and Blackout is not able